Well, the Buffalo Bills had a big victory on Sunday versus the Fish as the Miami Dolphins came to town. And what an enjoyable game to be at. I mean, wow. Memories made at this game, starting even before the game. As it was nice to be able to welcome Jordan Poyer back to the stadium. I can't wait until he, after his career is over, can come back as a legend and be our legend of the game because he is a Buffalo Bill. And it was nice to see him before the game. Also, very, very nice to see Saran kneel before the game. My wife even told him that we still love him, and he said, I know. And he took selfies with her. So, yeah, always been her fan, her favorite player. Now it's Ray Davis. Anyway, I digress. Also, there was so many moments, even before the game started. So many moments. And we'll get into the autographs at the end like we usually do. But this game had, before the game, when the Dolphins are coming out onto the field, they always make a little huddle over right near where I sit. And the quarterback of the team usually runs a little meeting there, telling them, trying to give them some last-minute motivations. Well, I was yelling to Tua the entire time that I had a bag of chips for him because Tua had a press conference this week that he wanted the fans to know, apparently after a fumble in the game last week, that it's a lot easier when you're home sitting on your couch eating a bag of chips. So I thought I'd bring one for him. And then the fan next to me had a fat head of Josh Allen, and she was yelling to every single Dolphin player, fan, equipment manager, coach, whatever, that they were in their daddy's house. Who's your daddy? She kept letting them know. Who's your daddy? And then Jim Kelly happened to walk by, and she yelled to him. She yelled at Jim Kelly, "This is the Dolphins' daddy." And Jim Kelly said back, "That's my boy." Without a second break, a second, he just said back to her. He didn't yell back. He just said it back. "That's my boy." Wow, that was awesome. That was awesome. What a memory there to take. Before I go more in this video, I see we have about 34 people watching. Please push that like button and subscribe. I see a few comments rolling in. Please keep those coming, but I do invite you to like and subscribe to my videos and hit that little bell button so that when I go live, you will get the notification. During the game, what a nail biter. I'd show you my nails, but they're pretty bad. I bit one down to blood, and it was something. What an event. Our defense did not play very well. The defensive line has had some good games coming into this game. They were applying pressure. They were stopping the run. They could not do that today or on Sunday. They were getting gashed in the run. Achane is a great running back. Mostert tends to fumble in Buffalo. I don't know what that's all about. I think he fumbled a couple of times last time he came into town. But Achane is a really, really fast and good running back. Tyreek Hill was eating them for lunch. He was just going off on the Bills during the game. Seemed to be getting open. And part of that was that they just weren't getting the pass rush I thought they might be able to get. This team's been able to get a good pass rush. And when Von Miller back and Russo and Epinesa going, I thought they could. And they were struggling up the middle, stopping the run. And these are the negative things because it was a very positive game. But the negative things for the Bills, I do hope that today is the trade deadline that maybe they're able to get a defensive tackle. I do think that Eli Ankou played well coming up from the practice squad, but they could use another defensive tackle up the middle. now that Dwayne Carter has his wrist injury, and I was able to talk to Dwayne before the game, and he said his surgery went well, and I encouraged him to bring the energy on the sideline, and he said, I got you covered. So the and then Dwayne Schmoot after the game has a wrist injury. I don't know what's going on this year with wrist injuries with the Bills, but they're picking him up. Dwayne Schmoot has to have surgery as well. So you take a guy who plays end for us, but can move into the middle and play defensive tackle. So now we're another guy low. And Ed Oliver just has not been playing that well this year compared to what he played last year. And last year he had a fantastic season. So it might be hard to compare, but last year he was playing better than he is right now. And I do think that they could use another defensive tackle. And today's that trade deadline, so we'll see. I don't think that the Bills need another wide receiver, so we don't really need to trade for one. I like our wide receiver group, although Keon, on the big hit towards the end of the game where Jordan Poyer got the big penalty that kept the drive going, he was hurt on that play, his wrist, and I have not heard yet the update for today. Yesterday it sounded like they were still trying to figure out what they wanted to do and what the next step was. Maybe deciding whether he needs surgery or whether he can just wear a brace for now. I'm not sure. But yes, Mike Williams got traded to the Steelers. I don't know what they got for him, but he is now a Steeler. So, yeah, we talk about all NFL news on here. If you have any questions about the Buffalo Bills in particular, I'll be able to answer that better. But if you have questions about the NFL or comments, those are welcome as well. Again, and all the likes we can get and all the subscribers would be great too. On the offensive side of the ball, I did say in my video that I thought running backs would have an opportunity in this game, but not running the ball on the pass. And Ray Davis sure took advantage of that opportunity. It is so awesome to be in a seat in the end zone and see Ray Davis catch a pass and run it for 64 yards, was it? Right into our laps. Beautiful. Loved it. He just put a glide move on that safety and ran right past him. Ray Davis is a great addition to the team. James Cook is a great running back. And I love Johnson as well. So we've got a good running back room. I'm really happy with our running back room for this year. And hello to all Eagles fans. Appreciate you coming. So, and then it gets down to the last drive with the Bills. On that last drive, I swear to God, when the drive started, the guy behind me said that Tyler Bass was going to kick a 60-yard field goal to win the game. He was 1 yard off. It ended up being a 61-yard field goal to win the game. But I had to tell him, do you really want to trust Bass? I mean, I hope he can kick a 61-yard or 60-yard field goal, but I'd rather have us go in and score a touchdown. But I will say that against anybody. I'd rather score the touchdown, be sure of it. Field goals can go anywhere, especially in the wind at Highmark Stadium, and when the wind's going, who knows? Bengals are having a bit of a rough season from what I know about it this year, but as long as they got Joe Burrow, they're going to be a good team too. So on that field goal, when that thing left his foot, I knew it was good because it was heading straight down the middle, and it had huge power behind it. It went into the crowd, so I think it would have been good from 71 yards. He kicked the snot out of that ball, and that's all I kept yelling after he kicked it. Admittedly, it might not have been snot that I said. But anyway, and it was great to see the players go out onto the field and cheer for him. It was also great to see Josh Allen have that initial reaction of joy and then realize there's 5 seconds left on the clock and go get his players so that they can get ready for the kickoff. It brought back a memory for me. I'll just tell you about this really quick. When I was in charge of the West Texas Pride, or part of the West Texas Pride, our kicker, Polo, kicked a long field goal in Lubbock to win the game. And our players all ran onto the field, and I celebrated initially and then ran out onto the field to get our guys because there was like 5 seconds left too. And we had to get the kickoff to finalize the game. Wasn't it fun to watch Groot chase down Jalen Waddle too? I mean, Groot showing he's got some speed on the very last play when they're trying to just do the pitch it backwards stuff, and Jalen Waddle's running backwards, and Groot chases him down for a tackle. That's great. You got a defensive end that can chase down one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. But boy, pure joy is all you could feel when that field goal went through. Pure joy. And give it up for Tyler Bass. The short kicks this year, he has had trouble with. He's missed a couple of extra points. He's been blocked, whatever. He missed one. He missed a kick this game, and then he doinked one off the post, and it went in. But those are short kicks. And usually it's the other way around. Your kicker has trouble with long kicks and not short kicks. But Bass has been solid from distance. And he was there. Boy, you got to feel good for a guy like that. And then the emotions from Josh Allen talking in his post-game interview on the field, and then from Tyler Bass in the locker room. That's why we love football. You know, the money that's been getting into football and how much some of these guys get paid, some of them don't really care anymore. They've made millions of dollars. They don't interact with fans ever. Not so much in the Buffalo Bills. Maybe there's one or two guys, but you know, I'm talking about in general in the NFL. So to see how much these guys actually really, really love football and how much it means to them, that it would bring tears to a grown man's eyes, gotta love it. Gotta love it. Pure joy is what I would say for this game. Pure joy as we sweep the fish with a big squish. And Tua had a good game, too. I'll give props to him with his short passes. Didn't look good on any medium to long passes. He just can't make those. But the short passes, especially to Tyreek Hill and to Jalen Waddle. And Waddle coming off of looked like he was going to be done. I was wondering if he was going to have his season-ending injury. Then he comes back like 2 plays later and gets a touchdown. So props to him too. But props more to the entire Buffalo Bills team, as love seeing us get a victory like that. Wow. That's all you can really say is wow. So, before the game, I did get some autographs at this game. And, you know, for the autograph wall here, which I have approximately 50 current players and coaches that I've met either at training camp or at the games, autographs, pictures on this wall. If you want to see it, you can go to one of my other videos. But at this game, one of my friends who's a Chargers fan has always talked about Will Clapp before he even joined the Bills team, that he has the best name in the NFL. So I did want to add Will Clapp here. He was active for one game this year, and he's on our practice squad. But he does have a great name, Will Clapp. I appreciate him coming over to sign that for me. And then in the preseason, I talked to you about at training camp a few times how impressed I was by this free agent. And it makes me really happy to know that we have some depth in the defensive back room if one of our guys go down. And Christian Benford was hurt for this game. But, you know, some people worry about Kaiir Elam coming in, but and Kaiir has struggled at times, but not against Miami. He plays good against the Fish. And hopefully, if Christian can't come back, he can continue to play as well as he did in this game. But anyway, the player I wanted to talk about is Corey Couch. This guy, free agent player, had a great preseason and great training camp. I was very impressed by him. We started to watch him because he wears one of our favorite players' numbers, Saran Neal. Bringing him up against Saran Neal. And he's 33. That's the only reason we started to watch him. But boy, were we impressed once we started to. This guy can play football. He just needs a little more experience. He reminds me of Alec Anderson. And I know he's an offensive lineman, but this is how he reminds me of him. Alex came into Buffalo as a free agent, and you could see talent the first year, but he needed more practice. And then the second season, he got put on the roster, but never actually got into a game. But you could see the improvement in training camp. And then this year, he's on the roster, and he is the tackle eligible and backup center, backup guard, probably backup tackle. I mean, Alex stuck with it, and I'm proud of Alex Anderson for sticking with it and for working hard and now being a vital member of the Buffalo Bills team. And I think that's what Corey Couch can do. I don't know if it'll be next year or the next year, but he is going to be a really good NFL player, in my opinion. But the biggest moment for me in the pregame, and this is the biggest moment, the best moment that I can remember meeting an individual person. And I've met Marv Levy and Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas and Andre Reed and other legends of this team. But my favorite Buffalo Bills player of all time is Bruce Smith. And you know what? I turned a little bit into a kid meeting Bruce Smith, because I held out a picture for him when he walked in, and he said, "I'll come back and sign that." Well, you hear that. They'll come back. They never come back. This guy did. He came back, and I held out the picture, and he said, "I don't have a pen, or I'd sign it for you." And I held out the picture and asked him to sign it. And he said, "I don't have a pen." So I was like, and the guy next to me handed him a Sharpie. So I lost my head a little bit there, to tell you the truth, meeting one of my biggest hero. Literally the biggest hero. And Bruce Smith. And wow, was he a dominant NFL football player. If you're proud of me for getting to meet my favorite player, well, I'm getting a little emotional. Proud of me for meeting my favorite player, please give me a like on this video. I encourage you to like this video and to subscribe. The Bills are heading to play the Colts next week. They've got some things going on at their quarterback position. We'll see what happens there. I like Doug Flutie. I have not met Doug Flutie. That is one player that I haven't met, but I would like to meet Doug Flutie. That's another legend. That's a good point. But Bruce Smith is the man. He is the man. And my mother actually got a chance to meet him once. They went up in an elevator together, and she said that was the biggest guy she's ever seen in her life. He is huge. Still big. Big man. Anyway, just wanted to get on here, give you a little bit of things that happened to me at the game, and what my thoughts are of the team. My biggest thoughts leaving this game is I hope Keon Coleman is okay. I think Cooper, he has a wrist injury as well. Hopefully he'll be back next week. I think that Christian Benford at the defensive back position has a wrist injury. I mean, we're getting to the point that the Bills may want to hire a doctor that's a wrist specialist on staff. I don't know why there's so many wrist injuries on the team this year, but just I guess maybe it happens that way. You end up getting them, but hopefully those guys will be okay, because we're going to need them moving into the future. We did with that win open up a 4-game lead now in the AFC East, because technically we were at a 3.5 game lead, but beating the Dolphins now gives us a 4-game lead in the AFC East as we stand at 7-2, and 3-6 is the next best record behind us, I think. I don't know, but it's a 4-game lead. Yeah, that's the record. So that's awesome. What do I think about the Falcons? I don't get to watch many Falcons games, but I think they've been playing well. And I think Robinson is a really good running back. And Kirk Cousin, you know what? When the Bills played Minnesota, Kirk Cousin is the calmest quarterback in the pocket I've ever seen. Most quarterbacks you tend to start seeing happy feet and things. He is just cool and collective back there. I think that's what makes him a quality quarterback. Hope you like that. Did you like that? What do I think about the Lions? I think the Lions are maybe the best team. Let me take my Bill stuff off. They may be the best team, I'm going to say, in the NFC. The best team in the NFC. How about that? I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl this year. And I would love to see a Super Bowl with the Lions versus the Bills so that we can one of our teams can finally get a ring. That's what I want. Lions, Bills, Super Bowl. So that we can get a ring. Hope you like that comment. Lions are a good team. Real good team. Team, too. And their coach has made them that way. Their coach needs more props for everything that he has done for the Detroit Lions. Boy, since you brought up the Lions, I know most people are talking about the election today. I was not going to talk about the election, but if you live in Detroit, if you live in any of the swing states, everyone actually, go out and vote today. I'm not going to say who you should vote for, who you shouldn't vote for, but go get your vote counted. If you're able to vote, obviously you have to be age. In some states you can't be a felon, whatever. But make sure to go out and get your vote known. So, yeah, with that, I am going to end this stream with, again, asking you to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification button because it really helps me out. And remind you that God loves you. God loves you. And so do I. Go Bills.